Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
A 1,000 employees of 2 European agencies currently headquartered in Canary Wharf have today found out they'll be moving to Amsterdam and Paris. Ministers from 27 EU member states have been voting on which 2 cities will be chosen to host the European Medicines Agency and the European Banking Authority. The organisations can't be based in London after we've left the EU. So what impact will it have? Here's our Brexit reporter, Catherine Carpenter.
This is the European Medicines Agency. Around 900 people work here. And over in the upper floors of that skyscraper is the European Banking Authority, which employs around 200 more. Now, ever since we voted to leave the European Union, we've known they'd have to leave London. And today, the workers here and their families will find out where they might be living next. EU cities have been competing to offer them a new home, and now we know Amsterdam has won the prize of the EMA's well-paid workforce. It's 36,000 visitors each year and the 30,000 or so hotel rooms it books.
Having a regulator creates a sort of halo effect because lots of American and Japanese businesses set up shop in London precisely because they want their staff to be close to the regulator so they can help shape its decisions, get their products under their noses. And so lots of companies have said once the regulator moves, they're going to have to think about maybe sending some staff to follow it.
The idea is that any health and care worker in the world can use this technology.
It's a dilemma facing this small business in Waterloo. It's developed a secure messaging service for health workers, and having the EMA close by has been important for growth.
There's a lot of complex regulation, a lot of hoops you've got to jump through. And if we're losing all the people that know about these regulations, that's a disaster for us.
Is it enough of a disaster that you would consider moving to wherever the EMA moves?
Yeah, we'll probably still have a London-based office, but I could easily see us creating a European office to move with them and stay close to the regulators and the key people that we need to work with.
There are hopes that the UK might be able to come up with a more streamlined approach to regulation. Others say London's pulling power as a place to work is still stronger than its rivals.
London remains a global city with a fantastic opportunity, money that can invest in life sciences. So I think we can continue to attract talent to work with our fantastic science, our great scientists, our great institutes. It's just made it a little bit harder losing the agency today.
Of course, Canary Wharf is made up of so much more than these 2 European agencies, but losing them will have an impact here, and that loss may be felt far more widely across the capital too. Catherine Carpenter, BBC London News.
Back to Brexit now. 2 major European agencies were relocated from London this evening as part of the process of extracting Britain from the EU. The European Banking Authority will now be rehoused in Paris. The European Medicines Agency will be moved to Amsterdam. The move will mean Britain no longer has control or involvement in either of these institutions. As our business editor Helen Thomas reports, the shift will also mean Britain has to find a whole new system of licensing and approving which medicines can be used here in the UK and how quickly they can become available.
A convoluted voting system, a bit of horse trading between countries, and a slightly uncertain reward. It's been described as the business version of the Eurovision Song Contest, but the European Medicines Agency and the European Banking Authority now have a new home. After 19 submissions, 3 rounds of voting and a virtual dead heat, the EMA will leave London for Amsterdam. The bank regulators are headed for Paris. The EMA was seen as the bigger prize. This is the cell and gene therapy unit at Guy's Hospital. Regulators can mean a cluster of expertise and scientific know-how that could ultimately attract businesses to the successful city. From the UK's point of view, we're talking about maybe 900 jobs at the Medicines Agency and a couple of hundred at the banking regulator. But they're highly skilled roles and in sectors the UK likes to think it's pretty good at. Back in April, David Davis suggested that, subject to some negotiation, the agencies could stay in London. Now it seems they're definitely off. So what does that mean for the UK and what might take their place? For the pharmaceutical industry body, the departure of the regulator could leave a gulf that causes other problems.
The pharmaceutical industry adds £30 billion worth of GDP to the UK economy, with the highest research and development spenders anywhere in the economy. There are several concerns with the uncertainty that we have around Brexit. We could see delays of up to a year in the approval of new medicines. We could also see some of the processes that require certainty about regulation moving out of the UK unless we get a medicines cooperation soon.
Winning the banking authority was perhaps more a matter of prestige than business, at least in the short term. One European financier told Newsnight that the EBA just meant a veneer of credibility for Paris's aims to bolster itself as a financial centre. In London too, the departure of the EBA is seen as symbolic, yes, but unlikely in itself to dent the city's heft in finance.
It's really a sort of coordinator amongst regulators, and we've got extremely strong regulators of global calibre already, writing rules and interpreting and applying those rules. In fact, what it does is allows the UK to do things more its own way, which is frankly safer for the markets systemically, so that our regulators can make more dynamic adjustments and more dynamic refinements to the rules in the UK as appropriate to the markets themselves.
For others, the agencies are about more than a few hundred jobs and a European rulebook.
The EBA and the EMA are tremendous gatherers of people, conveners of conferences, and it's a great place to meet people, clients, and share ideas. And I think that loss of power or soft influence will be something that the UK will feel.
How will medicines be checked and approved after March 2019? Will the city have a deal that's roughly the status quo, or have to operate quite differently? As Europe makes decisions in its own unique way, it highlights unanswered questions at home.
Helen Thomas.